the poke away steal from Brunson that gave you guys the opportunity to tie the game. What were you seeing, I guess, in that play? What was going through your mind?
I think the biggest thing was I just kept saying that I wanted to be at the top. So, like, I knew a guy would run out, and I knew my speed would be able to keep up with them. But I also figured, like, man, if I'm behind people, I can kind of make plays and kind of tip balls away, and that's what I did.
Tyrese, how is your hand doing, and I guess what has it been like dealing with it the last couple of days, figuring out if you can play or not?
Right, it's okay. I think yesterday it was just like I just knew like it wasn't good enough for me to do the things I had to do on a basketball court. You know what I mean? Like it was still very sore. At shoot around, I was catching the ball, and it wasn't. I couldn't really dribble off of it. I couldn't like shoot layups off of it. And today, for me, I'm just like I hate missing games, and especially leaving my teammates out there. It feels like it's not good. So I was playing regardless of the situation today. So.
Tyrese, you had 2 early fouls, and then another trend has been like Paul getting early foul trouble. With not having Joel and Andre there at the rim to help, do you guys kind of feel like a little bit more pressure to sort of hold your ground and be more aggressive on the perimeter?
Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult without 2 of your 7-footers down there. But Yabu's doing a great job doing everything that he can. I mean, he's doing an amazing job as far as just protecting the rim, taking charges, stepping up. He's doing great. So Yabu's he's really playing his tail off.
What have you kind of seen from Justin, just on both ends of the floor? What kind of spark has been able to give you guys?
Dude, he's been really good, extremely good. I mean, like tonight, he guarded Jalen. He hit big-time threes. He's making the right plays. I think yesterday we saw what he can do, like in a total. But he's been great, though. Like I think he's really trying to play himself into a nice little rotation player in the NBA. So I think he's done a great job, and I think just the sky's the limit for him.
This was, he's getting his first sort of dose of action and high leverage, like really critical games against really good teams. As someone who's been through that as a rookie, like that Denver game, even in Atlanta in the playoffs, how valuable do you think that experience can be for a player to get into those sorts of situations?
Second to none, honestly, especially when you're in that type of situation where every play matters. Like tonight, every play matters. Like especially when you're in the fourth quarter, you have to know attention to detail. You have to you have to be so locked in every single huddle, every single play, because one little slip up can cost you a game. You know what I mean? So he's done a really good job, though. I think that's just the biggest thing that like him and Bona have to know. Like, hey, we're coming out of a timeout. Coach says the first time Jalen Brunson gets the ball and he comes off a ball screen, we got to trap it. Though it's little stuff like that we have to always remember. And I think they're doing a good job picking stuff up. Man, it's difficult. So they didn't play a lot at the beginning of the year. Now we're asking them to play, like you said, against high-level teams, high-level games, and try to help us win.
On the winning end for most of your early career, do you feel like any kind of emotional or mental drain as this season has gone on and the struggles have kind of continued and a lot on your shoulders?
It's definitely hard. It's definitely difficult. I've like you said, I've won on every level all my career. So I think it got to me early in the season. I think I talked about it up here a couple times. Now I feel like I don't feel like pressure or anything. I just feel like I want to go out there and compete every single night. And I want guys to, whoever's out there, take the opportunity and don't take it for granted, because it does not always come around like that in the NBA, man. Like, you don't really, not the whole team, 6, 7 guys out. And that's not on every team, you know what I'm saying? So, if we didn't have guys out, if 6 guys, 7 guys weren't out, Justin wouldn't, we don't know if Justin what he would be doing. So, just every single night, I want guys to take advantage of the opportunity, man. It's at the end of the day, it's fun, man. We're playing the game that we love, the game that we asked to play, the game that we work our tails off to play every single day. So,
Tyrese, I think your half-court defense has been top 10 this year, but transition is down near bottom 3, bottom 5. I guess what do you think what explains the discrepancy there, and what do you guys need to do to fix the transition issues?
I think the biggest thing is we got to communicate better. It's a couple of times where even on made baskets where we just we're not matched up. I think when we match up and we actually, like you said, when we actually play defense, it's extremely hard to score just because of our versatility. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Paul, Kelly, Caleb, and all them when they come back too. And I think I'm trying to do a better job of just move my feet, being disruptive. So it's then when you put in Joel in there, you put Andre in there, even Yabu when he's at the 4, you have a lot of different guys that can do a lot of different things. So that's probably the MO when you play against us. Like, listen, if you get out and run, you can get some good looks. You know, they don't want to play against their half-court defense.
Such a unique player. What is that like going up against a guy like that who can make an impact in so many different ways, and you look up and suddenly he has a triple double?
Right. I literally just look at that. He impacts the game, man. He impacts the game like it's just crazy. Like, I had no clue he had triple double tonight. Like, not even a little bit. Now I'm looking at the stat sheet. He had 17 rebounds. Nobody else on their team had double-digit rebounds. Like, that's like he's carrying that load, on the defensive end and the offensive end of rebounding. Then you get the ball out of Jalen Brunson's hand, and if it's him, he's gonna make the right play every single time almost. So he's difficult cover, especially when you have that type of team, that type of shooting around it. He does a really good job of when he gets rebounds, pushing the pace. You're so worried about Jalen Brunson, you're so worried about Mikal, you're so worried about OG, and then when Cat plays, you're so worried about those guys because they can shoot. He can punch gaps and get layups, and then as soon as you start helping off that, he's making the right reads to his shooters out, on the three-point line. So he does a good job of that.
What have you kind of seen from Justin Edwards? Just a rookie being able to come in and make such a high impact in the last 2 nights.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been ready. His name been called. He's been ready to step up, especially in time we need him. We need all the bodies we can get, and he's stepped up. He's been playing, well beyond his years. I've been impressed with him. He's tough, takes the challenge, and he's coachable, man. He's like a sponge. He just absorbs all feedback, and he's been helpful for us.
Obviously, sorry about that, but obviously the record isn't what you guys want it to be. But you guys continue to come out here and play, I guess, hard as you possibly can on a regular basis. I guess, how do you continue to come out here despite the record and still put on the effort you guys do on a nightly basis?
Yeah, I mean, it to me it means something. Obviously coming to Philadelphia, it meant something, and so when I'm on the floor, it's just try to leave it out there and play as hard as possible and give it every chance to try to win, whether it's defensively trying to guard the best player or offensively trying to make plays or score. It's what you come here and play for. You come and play hard and leave everything on the floor.
OKC was here last night. You played in a couple sort of crazy games here when you were with the Thunder, one that went to triple overtime, one, I think, a 4-point play to win the game. I guess, what do you remember about those games and maybe particularly the atmosphere here for those games?
Yeah, I mean, it was intense. The game you're referring to, the game winner, I think over Jimmy. Yeah, I mean, the atmosphere was crazy. It felt like it was standing room for the majority of that game. Just the impact, the magnitude, the fans cheering. And I think going down to the wire, the game was close the whole game, and then going down to the wire, it was just big time plays after big time plays, and I think Russ got fouled out that game, and a lot relied on me to finish it. So it was a fun game. It was definitely those moments, or that moment, forever lives in my head of what Philadelphia basketball is like.
You got a 3-game road trip coming up where, I mean, again, all 3 opponents were just extremely tough. Just what is it going to kind of take in order for you guys to kind of get out there and come back pretty successful off the trip?
I mean, it's going to take everything. It's going to take everything. We got to pull and ride for one another and, leave it on the floor for one another. It's a tough stretch for us.